Welcome to this episode of the Coaching Guided Meditation. And it's my first request. I posted an article on LinkedIn recently where somebody was talking about mental time shifting. And I said, oh, well, I call that future pacing. And they wanted to understand how to do it. So this is for you. You know who you are. What I want you to do is think about, let's just make this really simple tomorrow. And we're going to work through tomorrow and what that might be like. And when you've done that, we're going to then imagine going out a week from now and then a month. And each time you're going to be doing the same thing. But what you're doing is, just so that you understand, is the deeper mind, your primitive and reptilian brain, the original brain right at the back and at the bottom, doesn't understand the future. Its primary objective is to keep you safe in the now. And so it's only interested in now. And it's only interested in the past because it's there that we've gathered experience and knowledge and examples of how to deal with things. So it will use that information. And that's its only concern. It's now and the past. What you're doing here is using this highly developed prefrontal cortex where you can do all your complex analyzing and logical working, which does understand the future. And so consequently, if we can utilize that and you can embody what you're experiencing, you can suddenly let the unconscious mind know, okay, that's what it's like, is it? You're giving it more learnings. How amazing is that? So let's give it a go. So when you're ready, just making yourself nice and comfortable there where you are. Remember, this deeper mind takes all its instructions from our five senses. So asking you when you're ready to just close your eyes and breathe. For those of you who don't know, breathing is a fantastic way of pretty much tapping into your nervous system. Because when you take slow, deeper breaths, the body's like, oh, everything's okay. We can relax. And so that's what I want you to do. It's just focus on your breathing, allowing it to settle down to a nice rhythm for you that lets you know you're feeling more and more relaxed. And I'm going to be talking to that deeper part of your mind, but also have your conscious mind to enact the actions that I'm going to ask. So let's start with, what are you doing tomorrow? Maybe it's work or maybe it's a fun day. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, you've got an idea of what you're doing tomorrow. More of the same or something different. And what we want to do is just pretty much walk our way through the day. But what I want you to do is to walk your way through the day smiling, feeling good. So it doesn't matter the outcome of the day. What matters is how you're feeling. And this is important because the way we feel can really influence our results and our outcomes. So think about what you're doing tomorrow. And it may be something great already, so you can get in touch with that feeling. So I want you to do just that, get in touch with a good feeling. If tomorrow's a work day or it's going to be a tough day, whatever, I want you to remember a time that was good. And I want you to notice where you feel those feelings. When you felt really good, was it in your head, your heart, or your gut? Usually feel good feelings are lighter, so you may feel more lifted. You may feel more relaxed and calm. And I want you to bring a smile to your face so that you can link the feeling and the behavior together more and more. Really getting a sense of that feel-good feeling wherever you feel it or sense it. And now I'd like you to give it a colour. A perfect colour for good feelings, happiness, joy, love, whatever works for you. And you can change it every time you listen to this. This is your choice. Choose the colour that works for you, the first colour that comes into your head. So where you're feeling that feeling, imagine that colour now. And maybe it's got a shape. Sometimes it can help to have a shape that you can visualize. So now these feel-good feelings with a smile on your face are anchoring in the way you want to feel tomorrow. Now, to be clear, you may not feel like this every second of tomorrow, but if you can tap into this through the day, consciously, you can elevate your feelings. So it may not be as strong as it is right now, or it could be much stronger, but you are in control. That's right. Very good. So now you've got that feeling. Now you've got a smile on your face. You know what you're doing tomorrow. You're all set. So I'm going to walk through tomorrow. Waking up in the morning. Just see what you do. It's like you're watching it on a TV screen. Or for those of you who are more aware, that you can be looking down on yourself, going through the motions of the morning routine, whatever that might be. Washing, showering, cleaning your teeth, brushing your hair, maybe shaving or putting your makeup on. Do you have breakfast? And I want you to see what you're doing and bring these feel-good feelings, hold on to those feelings, that color, that shape, and that smile. Even if it's going to be a challenging day, start with good intent. Work your way through the morning, what you have to do, where you're going. But just see that overall, it went okay. It went better than okay. Maybe it was fantastic. But your feelings will help you with this to elevate whatever you would have done. Marvelous. Did you stop for lunch? Maybe you made an exception if you don't normally, because you're entitled to make sure that you're being nurtured and cared for. So if you don't normally take one, even if it's 15, 20 minutes, just see yourself taking a break, having a little bit of time to digest the morning. Moving through the afternoon. How does that look? Feel, sound, who's around you? And just endeavor to keep your energies high in this beautiful space by smiling, focusing on the shape so that you can get in touch with the feel-good feelings. And it may be harder as we're moving through the day, and that's okay. This is something you have to practice, but boy, can it make a difference. And then into your evening. And as you reflect on the day, I wonder, as you look back, can you just see how things were better than you thought? They went smoother than you expected. That actually at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. And what if you did it again for the following day? That's right. So when you've got to the end of that day and you felt it come back to the now, not still in the trance-like state, but what you're doing is focusing back on these feel-good feelings of when you felt really good. And I want you to make it bigger, brighter, and bolder. Double it. Perfect. Because now I want to take you out a whole week. So it's this time but in a week's time. Now, instead of going through each day, although we can do, I want to do is slightly different techniques so that you can choose what works for you. So it's a bit of a blend of different ways. So I want you to move yourself out to this time next week. And you can do that because you've understood where tomorrow is. You've moved to tomorrow. Well, it's in the same direction. You're moving in the same direction. It's your future, wherever it is. So move out a week. And I want you to turn and look back over the week that's just gone, as though you've already lived it. You've already been through it. And what I want you to do as you move out over the course of the week is that you start to sprinkle, color, fill that space with the color of happiness and joy. I don't know what that looks like. Whatever works for you. Some people will see a line, and so you can just imagine that line being the color of everything is okay. Things are always working for me. I've had a really good week. I've been surprised by some of the amazing things that might have happened. Synchronicities, people who've called, events that I've attended. I don't know, but just imagine that color filling up between today and a week's time. That's right. And smile to yourself, tuning into this feeling at how amazing that was. What a great week. And it's at this point you can possibly pull together some of the key events of that week. Maybe you had a really good clients meeting. Maybe you managed to win something or do something you've been meaning to do for a long time. Met up with an old friend or colleague. I don't know. Just think of those key moments and look at them as though they're already done. And it went well. And it was good. And you can smile. And what you're doing is building on this feel-good feelings, lightening how you're feeling. That's right. And I want you to know that if there was any challenges in the week, because this doesn't get rid of challenges, learnings and issues and problems, no. What it does is enable you to realize you can look at them and deal with them more differently. I don't know, maybe you needed to earn more money. What might you have done that would enable that money to come through? I don't know. What if your health has been causing you a problem, but you've had some insight as to what you've got to do? That's right. You can do them now. You can tackle problems, issues, and challenges much more effectively from this feel-good space, because what's happening is you're freeing up your brain from constantly struggling with life to having space to think and be creative. That's right. Very good. And from this place in a week's time, I want you to start to look further out into the future. So wherever you've looked to get to this space in a week's time, I want you to go out into a month's time. That's right. In a month's time, if you could travel out along this line, again, I'm going to do a little something different. So you've got another little technique you can do. The more you practice this, the more you can do it for yourself. The more you can do it, the more that you will be able to. A month. Move out another month. And as you arrive in that space, remember you've brought with you all this beautiful color with you of feeling lighter, brighter, more energized, a loving, joyful you, somebody who's had a really good time of late, has dealt with any issues or problems easily and effortlessly, and is doing so more and more, and actually welcomes them because they add variety and spice to life. Imagine a month from now, as you turn to look back to the week and the day that you did this work. And notice that the color has followed you through to where you are today. That's right, very good. And what I want you to do now is slightly different, is if you could imagine that space between now and that week space, maybe even coming back to the day that we started this. If you could imagine that space being filled with this beautiful color of joy and happiness and, you know, success and feel good feelings, whatever it is you need to feel. I want you to notice that in there somewhere are dots and spots, nicks and tears, lumps and bumps that are a sign of the challenges or things that didn't go quite so well or you needed to deal with. And it's a color you're not so fussed on. So whatever color that might be, you just don't like it. Because in a moment, what we're going to do is we're going to clear that. But right now, I want you to just look at it, celebrate anything that's happened in the meantime. Know that you're okay. You've survived. It's brilliant. And anything that's on that space, that trajectory, I want you to know that your unconscious mind can look back over that timeline and learn. Crazy, right? But what if it could? You know what the month was going to have. And remember those dirty dot spots and nicks and tears and lumps and bumps are representative of more learnings to have. And we're going to come across those in a moment. But what if you got through it and you're still okay and you can still feel good? And I want you to get in touch with that color, that space that you felt it before, the way that it's making you lift energetically, vibrationally. You're feeling lighter. Your shoulders are much more relaxed. You're finding that the smile on your face is still there. And maybe people around you are starting to comment in some way. What have you done different? What's happening? And all you're doing is creating a model for your unconscious mind to A, feel safe, B, to know what's expected of it, and C, just maybe, begin to influence the results that you're getting. Influence mind, not control. Because we only get what we get through an influence, a good influence. So we're trying to move away from the old ways of being to the new ones, where it's more collaborative, more supportive, more, working together. So I'm going to bring you back towards the now, because there is a fourth version, but that is different, and we can do that on another video. I want you just to, for the moment, relish this space, the feelings that you've got. And while you're there, your unconscious mind can take and learn all the learnings that it's got just by traveling out to this month date. And it can store them in that place where it stores all your learnings so that whenever you need them in the future now, they will be there for you. And all you have to do is just be in this moment. Feel it. Because the feelings are what are going to make the changes for you. Noticing anything else that you need to notice about the good stuff that's happened over the month. The successful stuff. And I want you to just say thank you to your deeper mind for the work that it's doing for you now. And you can listen to this recording every day so that you're constantly building out as much as you need. And you can change some of the things I say. So I may say a day, but you may want to go out to a specific date. There may be, I say a week, but you may have a specific week. a month, you want to build on those each time. It's entirely up to you. Once you get a sense of this, you can do this for yourself. But as you look back towards the now, and as I start to bring you back towards the now, counting from 5 to 1, I want you to notice those dirty marks. You don't need to know what they are. You don't need to understand how you overcame them. All we need to do is get rid of the colours. Now, you can do it in one of two ways. You can either pop them, imagine them just being shredded and put into a bin. You can just fill it with this new colour that you're embracing for your new way of being. A bit like when you paint a wall or you mix paint together, you have to put lots of this new colour in to transpose, change, morph the old colour, don't you? Whatever works for you, whatever you need to do, I want you to go back along your timeline for coming back over your timeline, knowing that what you're doing is you're getting rid of, disposing of those dirty colours, those nicks and tears, lumps and bumps, dots and spots. It's just covering it all up. 3, as you come back through to the week ahead and feel even better. How amazing is that? As you move all the way through to tomorrow. 2, noticing that actually, even before you got anywhere, you're starting to feel better about tomorrow. You're starting to notice the colour that you've been dealing with. And as you turn, as you come back into the now, before I bring you back completely, I want you to look out over that line, that timeline that you've just come back over, and notice those dots and spots, nicks and tears, lumps and bumps are all gone. And if they're not, just repeat the process. That's right. As you come back into the now, 1, wiggling your fingers and toes, knowing that you have got some real strong changes going on there. Thank you.